Hey, my friend, happy Monday. Welcome, Limitless Living, the name of this, just like it says. Have you noticed that what you focus on in life expands? That's my question to start out. And I know that's a super popular saying, but think about it for a reason. What you focus on expands. So I'm really excited to share with you guys today. I really feel like someone needs to hear this out there. So I'm really going to get into a little bit of mindset and an attitude of gratitude. If that's your jam and you think you need to hear this, great. If not, it is always my intention to share tactful things as well. But let's talk about what we focus on. It's so funny on the Facebook right now, right? There seems to be these like two opposite sides and people saying, oh, there's drama and all this negative and right? And I have to get off social media because it's so negative. And my question is, well, who are your friends, right? Like if they're that negative or if you can't handle, an opposing viewpoint so much so that you can't get on, then what are you focusing on, right? You must have a limitless belief there. So that's really what I want to dig into, and only you are going to know that for yourself, right? I'm doing the work with me, and only you can really answer you truthfully, right? So what are you focusing on right now in your business, but also in your life? Are you focusing on the situation right now? Are we focusing on, things that we can't control? Are we focusing on the negative? And I get it. It's funny. Like I'm the first one to post the meme about, but then I'm like, man, is everybody, there's all these videos. Is everybody drinking right now? I hope not. I mean, we joke about it, but what are you focusing on? Are you so down the tubes? Are you so overwhelmed? And how can you change that? So my hope is really to help you get to that attitude of gratitude, because I honestly believe that it will get you out of anything. It is at least where you start. Now, will it take work? Everyone is different, right? We all have to do that personal development. We don't want to be in the same place because look, we're wired to keep ourselves safe. So unless we learn and stretch and grow, we're probably most likely going to keep ourselves stuck where we are. Hey guys, if you're hopping on, let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop me an emoji. If you're on replay, put hashtag replay. If you're new to the page, please introduce yourself. My name is Emily Smiley, and it really is my passion to help other entrepreneurs build and grow online. Today we're going to be really digging in a little bit on, mindset. I have this set to share with you guys today. I had it all written out, my topic, my bullet points like I do to bring you guys really good value. And then 3 different other people share the same thing, which for me just confirms that someone out there needs to hear this. So, we're talking about limitless beliefs, having an attitude of gratitude, and then what are you focusing on right now in your business, in your life? We all have our stories of struggle. We all have something that defines us or has made us the way that we are. Most of us, it probably maybe comes from our childhood, whether you've had a rough childhood or, you just had rough struggles, right? If you haven't, wow, good on you. But most of us have had some sort of hard times or hardships or struggles, that kind of define who we are, but also how we show up in our business and how we show up daily. And so I really just want to encourage you today, how are you showing up daily in your own life, and how are you showing up in your business, and what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on those hardships that you had? Are you focusing on the negative or what you're hearing or the drama on Facebook? They say you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And it's funny because how many of us have had a person that we've outgrown? Right? If you look back and you're like, wow, I used to be really good friends with them. And sometimes you just simply outgrow them. And that is honestly, it's a good thing sometimes, right? And it can be tough. And, it's not that, you might be ditching them or that there's drama. It's just sometimes you just choose to put a little more distance between you because maybe they are a little negative or you're not in the same place or you want to learn and grow, whether that be, personally or business-wise. And since you are who you're around, then who are you surrounding yourself with? Maybe you need to change the 5 people that you're surrounding yourself, and it's time for that up level, right? Hey, Alicia, thanks for hanging out, my friend. So, maybe you need to look, are you stagnant? Are you stagnant in your business? Are you stagnant in, your life or even your personal development? Maybe it's time to learn and grow and stretch And this is tough. And honestly, I believe it takes a conscious effort. You have to purposefully move that. So sometimes, I mean, how many of us have like, there has to be something to be grateful in this situation, right? Because there's always, 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 always something to be grateful for. So, you know, if you're like, I don't know, Em, like, I don't know where to start there, right? Then the second would be, you know, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on that attitude of gratitude, or are you focusing on the negative? And then look around the people around you. If you're not learning or growing and you're stagnant, look at the people that you've, you know, surrounded yourself. Maybe you need to literally pick yourself up and move yourself. And then the next thing I would say to ask yourself, and look, we all have various stages where you continue to come back. What lies are you telling yourself? Like, what are your limiting beliefs, right? Like, do you tell yourself that you're not any good, or you're not techie? Do you tell yourself, you know, that you're not worth whatever the dollar amount that you're trying to make per month? Do you tell yourself that, you know, you're not smart and you can't learn this, because you absolutely can? What is it that you're telling yourself? What's the saying? I seem to be full of quotes today, but you know, the saying is like, whether you believe that you can or can't is true. And that is so true. So the first step is to identify those limiting beliefs or those lies that you continue to tell yourself. And you know, maybe someone used to tell you those, right? And you know better now, but they've kind of made their way and they've rooted themselves deep, deep inside you. And maybe you need to get that conscious effort to get those out, because the reality is we all talk to ourselves, right? You have that inner dialogue in yourself daily. So what are you telling yourself daily, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. Like, it's one thing to present only the good things, right? Like, I'm all about like telling it how it is. But at the end of the day, I've got to circle back to that attitude of gratitude and affirming. Now, affirmations, you guys know, I've shared this on this page absolutely before. And if you want a specific Facebook Live, I'm not going to delve too big into them. It's a fancy word for how you talk to yourself. So all thanks for the love. So, you know, if you're not saying daily affirmations, you should. And it's funny because I've done these for years. So much so, I've actually been doing them with my kids for years now. But they change, right? So just because you say an affirmation 5 years ago, maybe that is no longer applicable, right? If you're learning and growing and expanding and changing that circle, then your affirmations need to learn and grow with it. You can't just quit doing it and think, well, oh, my personal development is over, right? Like, I no longer think that way. Dig a little deeper, because chances are there's something different that maybe it's time that you focus on, right? It's the same in our business. So, you know, for my kids, and I'm telling on them a little bit, but one tends to lie more and the other one tends to act out more. And so when I make their affirmations, it tends to revolve around those things. But sometimes they change or flip-flop, right? So it's the same with you. You know, what is it that you've identified that is maybe that limiting belief? Maybe it's your confidence. Maybe it's your self-worth, like we talked about. A lot of times, if you care what people think in your business, you know, is that a confidence thing? Is it a self-worth thing? You know, if it's a money thing, are there deep-rooted like money? And I have had that one. And I continue to try to have, like, not have that one. So, you know, what affirmation can you tell yourself to help fight that limiting belief? Because at the end of the day, whatever you feed yourself is how you're going to grow. And that is the truth. So, there was like a little kid song. It was like, be careful, little ears, what you hear, right? Be careful, little mind, right? It's so true. It's not little, like big people need to do the same. Are you, you know, filling your brain with negative? Are you plugged into the news too much? Do you surround yourself with, you know, people that aren't entrepreneurs and aren't interested in growing? And so they're making fun of your business, and that's, you know, beating down your self-worth, and you're questioning yourself. No, you go out there, you find some rock stars. If not, you reach out here, and I will absolutely help build you up and edify you in that way, right? You are a passionate, strong entrepreneur who is out to make a difference and an impact in people's lives, right? You tell yourself that every single day, because when you show up, how you show up determines how your business grows. But more than that, it determines how you live your life, right? And you only have one life to live. And if you've read my personal page, it's like, I believe in living life to the fullest. What does that mean? Well, for me, you know, and I hear it, so I get it. But it's like people say, well, I hate my job. I can't quit my job. Look, I've moved 3,000 miles and picked up without having a job, out knowing anyone. Well, you don't know my circumstances. No, I don't. But I guarantee you that no matter what your circumstances are, you can rise above it. And if you are determined, you can change them. You just have to dig a little deeper into those limiting beliefs. And instead of making excuses of why you can't, start telling yourself the reasons of why you should or why you can. And it is so powerful when you tap into that. You become invincible. You become limitless because you no longer care what people think. And if they do, you're just changing your 5 people, right? And you're telling yourself that day after day after day and having that and showing up with that attitude of gratitude, right? Lead with love. There's so many people out right now like judging everything you do, right? Everybody has an opinion on something. Everyone can have a different opinion on something. My business is better than yours. I make better money. Da 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 da. This is better than that. You should be blogging. You should be doing this. You need to have a network marketing. You need to build it old school. You need to build it new school, right? There's no really right answer. What is right for you? Stop letting other people tell you how to live your life, right? You have to decide to draw the line, right, as they say, and just make the choice and don't look back. And just keep feeding yourself and growing and learning and changing. And look, you can't always be in a growth, right? You can't. It's exhausting, first of all. But every time you really start to realize, oh, I'm not learning or I'm not growing or I'm being stagnant, or really for me, it's like if things start to like bother me, right? Usually for me, that's a sign. And I've seen that with a lot of other people, right? Like, maybe they've started with a side hustle because they loved their main 9-to-5 job. And then all of a sudden that job just starts irking them, right? And they're just done with it. Maybe that's the end of that. Maybe that's their little nudge, right? The universe is like little push to get them to go in the direction that they want to, or that they are supposed to go. But are you even paying attention to that? Or are you letting those limiting beliefs, keep you? Look, my background is teaching, and I, worked really hard to get through school, like really, really hard to get through school with no student debt and to owe no man but to love him. I worked my arse off, okay? Like literally. And I just had these very limiting beliefs that, I had to work really hard and that I deserved the very, very, very low teaching salary that I earned. And I also realized that I needed another hustle. But I never understood that the hustle could swap for years and years, even though I wanted it. Like deep down, I always wanted that, right? But I'm like, no, this is noble over here. This is my lane, right? How many of you guys feel like, well, this is my lane. Like, how dare I try to, dream bigger or make more or want more? That makes me feel ungrateful, or, you don't need that much money, or whatever your limiting or your excuses are, right? What are you telling yourself that is really just a lie? It's really just a lie, because at the end of the day, you really are limitless and you're way more powerful than you think. You've just got to start feeding yourself. It's okay to want more and to want to live the kind of life that you desire. There's a reason that is put in you, right? There's a reason. You have a purpose and a calling for what it is that you are building, right? And most of us, it's our passion. But it's okay that it's our paycheck too, because that's a direct reflection on how many lives that we're helping to impact. And that's okay. You can still have that attitude of gratitude for both the paycheck and the passion behind it. So I hope that this is encouraging to you guys today. Maybe you need to look at your belief system. Maybe you need to look at your self-worth or your confidence. Maybe you need to, rewrite out your affirmations. I've definitely gone through stages of that. I just felt really prompted to share this with you guys today. So I hope that you find this helpful. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Because what you're feeding yourself matters. I've been spending a lot of time reading Proverbs recently, and I don't know, what you do for your self-development. but there's all these like little tiny little nuggets like everywhere. And I'm just like, wow, like there is so much, knowledge to be gained when you're open, right? If you're open to opportunity and you're open to learning and you're open to, what it is that you're supposed to be doing, instead of putting up these walls of protection and these belief systems and all of these things that we've built up for ourselves and kept ourselves safe in this bubble, right? Because we're all wired to keep ourselves safe. When we can get rid of those and we can focus, even if, you're still doing the work, right? Identifying it is the first step. It's amazing what you can accomplish. Not just in your business, but in your personal life, in your family, right? My husband and I literally went on this track of like, hey, we don't want to owe anybody. We don't want to, have debt. We don't want to, do anything. And we do have a mortgage, I will say that. But, we were like, we're done. We don't want to pay car payments, and we had to do the work because both of us actually had limiting beliefs about how much that we thought we had to work ourselves to death, right? That was my background. That was his background. We had to work through those limiting beliefs to say, you know what? Like, this is what we want for a reason. We want to teach our children to be smarter about their finances. We want to teach families so that they're not living, paycheck to paycheck. And then I want to pass that on. I want to help families become, more financially stable or add a stream of income, whatever that looks like for them. So what does that look like for you? Are you allowing limiting beliefs to affect you? Are you focusing on the negative instead of the good? Are you lying to yourself? Or are you giving yourself those affirmations that you need to start your day? Because you better start with that armor. Because if you don't edify yourself and you can't talk to yourself that way, then what happens when one person says something mean to you or contradicts you or gives you their opinion? You're going to allow that to like burst that bubble, and that's going to crumble you. So you can't be dependent on what others think of you. And it's funny, I never thought I cared what people think. And the older I get, I realize I do care what people think. We all do. We all want to feel loved and included, right? Some of us are better at it, deflecting it, or, maybe you're strong in one area and, not in another. But, be careful what you're feeding yourself. Don't feed yourself those lies anymore. Don't feed yourself those limiting beliefs. Surround yourself with an attitude of gratitude. Tell yourself that you can and will do this. And you can. All right, you guys. I hope you guys found this super helpful, and I hope you and your families are well. I hope you are crushing it in your business. I hope you're in a stage of learning and growth during this time, and I just hope that you are living limitless, right? All right, guys. I hope you have a good night. I'll talk soon. Bye.